everyone, and welcome back to W12 Universe. I'm your host Jitch, and you are watching the final ECW of the year that is 2010. It's going to be closing off with a bang tonight on the 28th of December, as we have got a big ECW coming your way. First up on the show, we're going to be seeing Kane and Cody Rhodes, who have both announced that they will be in the 2011 Royal Rumble match. They are going to be going one-on-one with each other. Kane has made it very clear he intends to win the Royal Rumble and get off this hellhole that he calls ECW. He wants to be out of McMahon's presence, out of his control, and a star on his own once again. Cody Rhodes, of course, just wants the spotlight. He wants to be acknowledged. Cody has spoken out on Ted DiBiase lately, who has been kind of hogging the spotlight here on ECW. He says that he doesn't like Ted and he doesn't trust him, but if it gets a little less attention on McMahon and the Powerhouse, then he's not going to get in Ted's way with whatever it is that Ted's trying to pull at the moment here on ECW. Speaking of Ted DiBiase, we've been told that he is going to be going one-on-one tonight. No, not Ted DiBiase, sorry. His ally, El Dinero, everyone's fan favorite El Dinero, is going to be going one-on-one tonight with Ezekiel Jackson. And a very interesting additional stipulation to this match.
And his opponent, weighing 323 pounds, Kane.
We've been told that this match is going to be anything goes. McMahon wants Dinero out. He knows exactly who's underneath that mask, but he's not legally allowed to say. So what he's done to try and bribe Dinero into this match is he has told El Dinero that he will be competing against Ezekiel Jackson tonight as a special guest under contract of Ted DiBiase. And if Dinero wins tonight against Ezekiel Jackson, an absolute beast of a man, in a one-on-one competition, no involvement from the DiBiase squad, whatever you want to call them, if he can do it, if he can pull that one off, then he will be given an ECW contract, but he will be forced to unmask, and he will not be associated with Ted DiBiase going forward. Man has made this a anything goes style matchup, and I'm very interested in seeing how that one goes down. Dinero, quite a small star we've been able to pick up. I don't know how well they're going to be able to fare against Ezekiel Jackson, but there's an additional stipulation in it for Vladimir Kozlov, because we have been told that here tonight in our main event, Vladimir Kozlov will be going one-on-one with Brodus Clay, and if Vladimir Kozlov wins against Brodus, he will get one more shot against Jack Swagger at the Royal Rumble inside of a steel cage. Kozlov wants to cry and complain about McMahon's involvement, about the steel chair involvement. He wants to try and turn his back on the Powerhouse. That's fine. But McMahon has made it incredibly clear that Kozlov will have to go through Brodus Clay tonight to get that shot. He will have to go through someone who he considers an ally, a close friend, to prove his worth and his spot in an ECW Championship match against Jack Swagger at the Royal Rumble. But McMahon has also added that not if but when Ezekiel Jackson defeats Dinero tonight, Jackson will be remaining inside the ring, because should Jackson win, and McMahon promises that he will, it will be a handicap contenders match for Kozlov. He will have to get through both Ezekiel Jackson and Brodus Clay, his two closest friends here on ECW, to get that ECW Championship match against Jack Swagger. So McMahon really trying to make life hell for Kozlov for trying to stand up and prove that he is a star here on ECW. And I for one, do not agree with McMahon's decision, but I guess it's not my place to say. We have been told also that representing ECW, The Big Show will be part of the 40-man Royal Rumble this year. He's not going to be getting his rematch just yet, so I should be interested to see how The Big Show competes. I think he's probably going to be under the same premise as Kane of just wanting to get off of ECW, get away from McMahon, go to someone like Mick Foley or Teddy Long, who seems to treat their roster all equally and fairly unless they cross him. You know, I gotta say, the Misfits in the United Kingdom, they've been made to pay recently, but wow, it's nothing they didn't deserve. right now Cody Rhodes is finding out the hard way what the 2011 Royal Rumble match is going to be like, as Kane is absolutely laying into him. Cody's got to be prepared. I mean, this is what the Royal Rumble is going to be like. There are going to be people like Kane. There are going to be people like Big Show. You know, probably a Vader or a Nash, assuming they don't get a world title match. Maybe Undertaker could even find his way in there. It's going to be full of these kind of guys. And that is just something that Cody has got to accept and try to overcome. And right now, I just don't think he could. Of course, Kane has got a lot on his mind after what went down at TLC. He was absolutely screwed out of that ECW Championship match against Swagger. Tough loss for Cody Rhodes. Absolutely wrecked here tonight. Perhaps now he'll want to wear knee pads. That little bit of extra protection when you're up against someone like Kane wouldn't hurt. Well, Kane is victorious to kick off ECW, and up next, Ezekiel Jackson faces everybody's new favorite, El Dinero. Will Dinero remain here on ECW and get a contract? That is what we find out next. Kane, what the fuck?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Approaching the ring, representing the powerhouse from Harlem, New York, weighing 309 pounds, Ezekiel Jackson.
You know, Ted DiBiase was recently asked why it is that he brought El Dinero in, why it is that he's trying to buy out Vladimir Kozlov, why it is that he's got Mason Ryan on his side, and DiBiase's response was simple. He said he came to ECW after winning the United States Championship in the main event of SummerSlam. He was a top dog with an incredibly prestigious future. He's a very wealthy man, part of a great family bloodline, and all he wanted was his $1 million championship back, but McMahon got Kozlov to keep hold of it. And so DiBiase says, I've got money, I've got power, and I like screwing with people. So right now, McMahon is my favorite play toy. We'll see how Dinero fares against Jackson. DiBiase has made it clear he loves screwing with those in power because, as his theme song states, he's got money and he can do whatever the hell he wants. And oh! This is exactly what I'm talking about. He's got money, he's a part of a wealthy, prestigious family, and he seems to be able to just pull off whatever the hell he wants. Ted DiBiase, I want to point out, has got the $1 million championship around his waist, and I feel like that is a story worth 1,000 words. That says a lot about what this man has managed to achieve just recently here on ECW. He has been trying to get that championship back. The only man that's known the location of it is Vladimir Kozlov, and the fact that it's now around his waist again, that tells me that maybe he's gotten to Kozlov a little more than we initially thought. But this is Dinero's match right now for his contract. If he wins, he's a contracted part of ECW, no longer under the control of Ted DiBiase, and he'll be forced to unmask. Hold up a second. What is this? None of them are leaving the ring. Oh, don't look at that. I meant to play this match, but you know what? I have faith that the right people will win. I don't know that this is a legal match. Ezekiel Jackson, for the first time in a while, has stepped into the ring with Mason Ryan, a former tag team partner, a former ally of his in the Powerhouse, and it's safe to say that's long gone. I mean, you got to think, McMahon might have been paying these guys kind of well, but what's DiBiase paying them? It's been said that Dinero is independently contracted under Ted DiBiase. He is here under the management and payment of Ted DiBiase alone, and I think it's safe to say the same can kind of apply for Mason Ryan. There's no real rule against that. I mean, McMahon could always try to get rid of DiBiase, but terminating a man's contract for what exactly? I don't know. Being a competitor, being able to afford to manage people. I don't think that's against any kind of rules. I mean, what's happening in the ring right now is definitely not legal. Perhaps this is part of a I scratch... Wait, no, sorry, let me correct that. You scratch my back, I scratch yours type situation. Ted DiBiase, you know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, something happened right before your eyes is worth a lot more. And I think it goes to say Ted DiBiase coming out wearing that $1 million championship for the first time in almost an entire year after Kozlov took it away from him. Trying to get it back from Vladimir Kozlov. And all of a sudden we got this 3-on-1 beat down on Ezekiel Jackson, who, by the way, is a hell of a powerhouse. He could still come out of this looking pretty damn strong, should he get his way. But, I mean, I don't think there's any pinfall or submissions. I don't really know what the referee plans to do in a situation like this. But, think of it this way. Kozlov gives back DiBiase the $1 million championship, and Jackson is definitely not going to be helping Brodus Clay after this 3-on-1 attack. Just can't believe we got a guy wrestling in those shoes and that coat and those pants. I do wonder if one day we'll ever see the real identity of the mysterious El Dinero. We don't know a thing about him. Mason Ryan, oh, taking it to that extra level here. He's got a steel chair in hand. Fans have really begun to support Ted DiBiase's cause just lately. I mean, I guess in a way he's kind of like ECW's very own Robin Hood. The guy's taken up those that have been disrespected, I guess you could say the poor. And because we all suspect who Dinero is. And he was, if it is in fact who we think it is, he was fired not too long ago by McMahon. Mason Ryan was threatened to be fired. Kozlov was clearly being pushed out of the powerhouse. It was all about Jack Swagger, Brodus Clay, and Jackson. And at this point, I think DiBiase's got more men and more power than McMahon does here on ECW. Just trying to restore order to this brand. But I mean DiBiase's got what he wanted. He's got his $1 million title back. So what now? Yeah, if I were that referee, I'd get the hell out of there. You're not going to stop this 3-on-1 assault from happening. I'm just wondering how long this is going to go before the referee calls for some help. I mean, to be fair, he could have been tipped off, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised at the money DiBiase can throw around. Slip him a few hundreds, tell him not to ring the bell, tell him not to call this one off until DiBiase says so. I believe these guys are introduced as the DiBiase Posse. I mean, it's interesting how this all started. DiBiase simply, oh, chair shot from Dinero. I mean, that's the man that's supposed to be facing Ezekiel Jackson right now. I guess in a way, this is him telling McMahon he can shove it. He doesn't want that ECW contract. He's happy being contracted under DiBiase's protection. Jackson has put up a fight. I'll give him credit. I mean, he's not winning, but he's trying to fight back, and you got to give credit where it's due there. I just can't believe how long this 3-on-1 attack has gone, and Brodus nor Swagger have come out to even the odds. They've just kind of left Jackson to deal with this alone.
In the corner here, bad spot to be in. Oh no, what an assault. Hey now, and he wills his...
Mason Ryan just flattening his own former partner, Ezekiel Jackson. It looks like at that point, DiBiase seemed pretty satisfied. He told him he could call for the bell, so he did. A statement made by the DiBiase posse. I don't really know what to say. ECW seems to be seized by a very unique trio. I kind of want to see Dinero unmasked now. But either way, I mean, they stand tall over a beat Ezekiel Jackson, and I think it's safe to say he is not going to be on the side of Brodus Clay as Vladimir Kozlov competes for a contendership at the ECW Championship next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Accompanied by Ted DiBiase, approaching the ring from Moscow, weighing 302 pounds. Vladimir Kozlov.
Look who decided to hang back at ringside for this one. We've been told that apparently Mr. McMahon and Jack Swagger, the reason that we didn't see any involvement from Jack Swagger or McMahon trying to do anything about it is because apparently they're not here tonight. McMahon wants to protect Jack Swagger. He wants to give him that moment to recover after such a grueling ECW Championship match last week. He gave themselves the night off. So neither of them are actually here to watch the back of Brodus in this one.
Representing the powerhouse from Pasadena, California, weighing 367 pounds.
I'm sure McMahon's going to have a lot to say on the first 2011 edition of ECW next week after what has gone down. I feel like he has completely lost control of his own show once again. It's like the United Kingdom all over again, only I actually kind of like these guys. This DiBiase posse stuff's, it's alright. I mean, when you think about it, all DiBiase's doing is he's sticking up for the people that couldn't because of who was in power. There's really nothing that bad about what DiBiase's doing, especially because he's not even putting himself at the top. He's not going for the ECW Championship. He's simply sitting back and encouraging Kozlov to get the shot. Does this make Kozlov a member of this group? I tell you what, a 4-person group of Kozlov, DiBiase, Ryan, and Dinero is unique, to say the least. It's very unique. We don't see McMahon here, we don't see Swagger here. None of them are out here. And Ezekiel Jackson just got beat down. So, I mean, this is Brodus Clay going at it alone against Vladimir Kozlov with DiBiase at ringside. And as I mentioned before, obviously, the picture's worth 1,000 words, and DiBiase came out with that $1 million championship. We know exactly what that means.
Vladimir Kozlov is just so incredibly dangerous.
All he wanted was his title back, and because they wouldn't give it back, we're now at this point.
And Kozlov counters it.
Just goes to show DiBiase is a man you do not want to cross. He's got a point though, he was the main eventer of SummerSlam, and he came here to ECW and he spent months doing absolutely nothing. Closed out one of the biggest shows of the year, spent months doing nothing, and eventually he decided to take action.
Kozlov.
And now he's the main speaking point of the show.
What a nasty headbutt.
Gotta wonder how his dad feels about this though. And obviously it's his dad's money he's spending.
Targeting the ribs and the lower back. That just takes
DiBiase is the son of the $1 Million Man.
oh, what a whip. Rattling every fiber of his being.
Brodus Clay getting beat down by Vladimir Kozlov. Let's not underestimate Brodus Clay. This guy is a hell of a competitor. Hell of a talent.
Brodus Clay is in control early.
Tell you one thing, going back to the previous encounter we just saw, if Dinero is who people say he is,
Have somebody in your corner shoot.
I'll tell you one thing, that is that Mason Ryan and who they say Dinero is clearly have patched things up. That was a long-going rivalry here on ECW. But, I don't know.
You can see the pain shoot through this.
Maybe we're all just being tricked. Maybe he's just acting like that to distract people from who he really
Get
is.
up after a shot like that from Kozlov. And there's a stiff clothesline.
Maybe it's Cody.
Momentum turns and once more the methodic offense of the Russian.
Kozlov just laying into Brodus Clay.
Devastation. Brodus Clay is
And if he can beat Brodus this quickly,
anything he can do to get some traction
I mean, Jack Swagger's in for a fight inside a steel cage at the Royal Rumble if he can beat him that quickly. Kozlov going for the Iron Curtain. That really gonna be it? 3 minutes? Okay.
He is definitely gonna have to have those ribs looked at after this match. Whoa! And he fights his way out.
Brodus Clay, he's a wrecking machine normally, but I feel like he's been a little shaken knowing that there are 2 more guys out back that could easily gun for him, and he's got no backup, no one at his side. You know, he's made enemies out of people like Kane in the Big Show, as well as all 4 members of DiBiase's group, and you gotta think, like, that's a lot of people that are your enemies versus yourself and no backup. Swagger's not here tonight, McMahon's not here tonight, Jackson's been beaten down. Oh. Brodus Clay is in a real sticky situation. Samoan drop maybe? No. Oh.
Kozlov is so well versed in holds. Oh yeah, the Moscow Mauler knows about 1,000 ways to destroy you.
I always love that move. So stupid. Kozlov is laying into Brodus Clay. He is motivated, especially after last week. Jack Swagger with that gut-wrench powerbomb. He beat Kozlov by count-out. Did McMahon sign up for more than he bargained for when he offered that steel cage match against Swagger? Did tonight just not go the way he was expecting at all? Him and Swagger too busy celebrating the new year to pay any attention to tonight's show. But what a way for that to backfire.
That ring apron's a dangerous place.
Down goes DiBiase. Trying to meddle in this match, trying to help Kozlov out as Brodus has seemingly found a recovering point in the match.
Refusing to give in there. What sheer determination. Oh, look out! There's a taste of the sun.
Not gonna be enough. Brodus Clay gonna be down and out. Oh, almost got him.
Brodus has him. Devastating reversal by the former Sambo champion. Look at this! Look at this!
Ooh.
I'd be searching in my tights for a white flag I could wave. He's begging for it.
Kozlov looking for a second Iron Curtain, and he got him flat in the center of the ring.
We got to cover. One, two, three.
And there it is. Vladimir Kozlov meets Jack Swagger in just over 3 weeks' time at the Royal Rumble in a steel cage for the ECW Championship. And I'd definitely say that right now what you're seeing, he has aligned himself with the right guy. ECW is only a roster of 15 superstars, and I feel like DiBiase's damn near splitting the roster in half. You got the half that McMahon's in control of, and the half that DiBiase's going to buy out. Well, Vladimir Kozlov is victorious. I can't wait to see that match between him and Swagger for the ECW title inside a steel cage. But for now, Kozlov stands tall. Will he be able to at the Royal Rumble? Well, there's still some weeks in between where we will see how this one continues to unfold. But for now, I'll see you guys in the new year with the next episode of ECW. But still one more show to go in 2010, and that is Friday Night SmackDown, the New Year's Eve edition. Coming your way. Just 3 days' time. See you guys then. Bye.